On today's episode of Titus and Tate, it is Pro-Am season in the world of basketball. What does that mean? Great question, Mark, that you just asked yourself. I'll explain it. We'll explain it. That's what we're here for. That's what the people come to us for, Tate.
Yes.
They say, these guys are basketball guys. Explain to me why when I'm trying to consume sports content, people are talking to me about like LeBron James and the Drew League. What the hell even is the Drew League?
Yeah, who is Drew?
Who is Drew?
And how can a pro both be an am?
Yes.
And how can they be
Great
combined?
question.
Because you guys told me that the NBA is anti-college basketball, a.k.a. amateurs versus pros. We'll break it all down.
What is the TBT? Is that Pro-Am? What's going on at Rucker Park? What is that? I saw
playground?
Yeah. I saw the Overtime Elite team. This is true, I believe. I don't know. The Overtime Elite team was playing
Creighton?
Creighton.
But not even, but like
not real
Creighton's like alumni team?
But then there was like two guys that actually played at Creighton that are Creighton's alumni team. Just Doug McDermott's coaching, so they're like, we'll play in Omaha. That's the Creighton team basically. That's going on. Malachi Flynn, who you might remember from San Diego State fame, when San Diego State was undefeated that one year. Everybody remembers when they went undefeated, right?
Everybody.
They lost.
Yeah.
They were undefeated till they lost. That's a fact.
But they hung a banner.
They did hang a banner
Before the season was over.
Yeah, that was tough.
Malachi
Flynn dropped 73 points in a Pro-Am.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The crossover.
Yeah.
Jamal Crawford.
What is that? We're going to explain that. Basically, it boils down to this. It's Michael Beasley season for me.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally.
It's him season.
It's him season.
Who's him?
It's Michael Beasley season.
Is LeBron him?
That's a great question.
Some people were saying so at the Drew.
I want to talk to you about this because you played in the Drew.
People forget.
People forget that Tate Frazier is.
We played an immediate version of the Drew League. I was going to ask you how many points you were going to score in the Drew League, and then I was going to give my stats.
Well, we're going to talk about it because you got to explain to everybody what the Drew League is, and it is the NBA Summer. Is that part of the Pro-Am tour?
Ooh.
The NBA Summer League. Jim's beloved New York Knicks were Summer League runner-ups. Did not win rings. The Portland Trailblazers got rings.
Mm-hmm.
The ceremony where they were like, just grab congratulations guys, grab your rings, and then like some guys were like, all right, that's pretty sick, and then other guys.
Kentucky fans are sick right now because Shadon Sharp has a ring, they were not happy about him leaving Kentucky.
Luka Garza
looks like he made the right decision.
Luka Garza has a ring too. So for all you haters that said Luka Garza getting destroyed by Oregon in the second round of the tournament, he's
not
a loser.
Champion.
Yeah, he doesn't have the heart of the champion. Well. Kiss his ass,
Wrong.
haters. Wrong.
He
is a champion. So maybe we'll talk to Jim about that. Where does this rank in the New York Knicks pantheon? No successes, dude. Honestly, finishing second in Summer League might be one of their greatest successes in the last 25 years.
Winning Summer League is for losers anyway, so coming in second place is actually the best.
You don't want to win Summer
League.
League.
You don't want to win Summer League. Anyway, it's Pro-Am season, and we're going to do our best to make sense of all this. Coming up at first.
Woody Durham.
All right, we are here. We are here back in studio for another show, Tate. How was your weekend? What'd you do? Did you get anything fun?
Yeah, I mean, I had a really good weekend because of the Open Championship. A lot of good golf.
You call it the Open. That's how I know you're a real golf guy.
Yeah.
The posers call it the British Open.
No, I call it the British Open when I'm talking to my friends, but when it's the actual weekend, you call it the Open. You know what I mean?
Well,
we obviously know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's a hubris to this. It's kind of like, if you're South Carolina, born in South Carolina, I understand why you think it's Carolina, even though it's not,
Yeah.
Like if you're an American born in America, you want to call the U.S. Open the Open. I get it, but it's not really the Open.
Yeah. Okay. I think I follow that. I think I follow that. Are you a fan of the Open?
Yes.
The link style. Are you? Cause
I'm a fan of St. Andrews, the course, which is obviously
the actual. Okay, so here's a question I have for you. Are you a fan of the actual course, or are you a fan of the idea of the course? You know what I mean? Is it a situation where you're like, I like the idea of this, but if you're being completely honest, I don't really understand it. I'm not saying that's how I feel. I'm just, because there are some things that you talk yourself into, like, this is the coolest thing ever. And then you really think about it and you're like, do I actually believe that? Or have I just been told that so many times that You know,
I think it's up there with Augusta. Augusta's number 1 in my heart, but I think St. Andrews is number 2, and it's probably more because of Tiger, right? 2000, Tiger wins at St. Andrews. It was the home course, the old course, so it makes sense that it meant something. And then 2005, when Tiger comes back again, he wins at St. Andrews. So I feel like my St. Andrews love is based in Tiger Woods' love more than anything.
Okay,
not old Tom Morris love. There's a lot of people that love old Tom Morris, because this was his home course.
What was the Tom Watson? Was that St. Andrews, and was it like 08, 09 when Tom Watson got second and almost won the Open, and
I know
he was like 64 years old or something.
Yeah, he had the lead.
He had the lead. I can't remember if he choked or if it was like a Rory deal where he just kind of like.
I think he was making pars, and then the other guy was making birdie.
I don't remember who won.
Stuart Sink, I think, ended up winning. I think it was 2008.
Right. And it was 2009.
2009, it was Stuart Sink.
Yeah.
I hate that you know that, because I was ready to make the case that Tom Watson was the real winner, because I don't even remember like the Knicks getting second Summer League. Tom Watson actually won.
But see, yet again, this is through my lens of Tiger Woods. Stuart Sink was a Nike guy, and the Nike Tiger. Your
brain's poisoned. Yeah, the shoe brands have got to take.
No, Nike poisoned me from day one. It's all Michael Jordan's fault, and then
that's
Tiger
what I've been saying all along, dude. On the shows, everything's Michael Jordan's fault. This goes all the way back to MJ. All of it. Player empowerment. When did players start caring about their brands before MJ came along? Nobody gave a shit.
Magic did.
That's true. Great rebuttal. That shuts me down right away, and we're done with this discussion.
It's a Michigan State. It goes all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Tom Izzo.
Tom Izzo, who famously coached Magic Johnson.
Yes.
In 1979.
People forget.
Who could ever forget that? So I have a confession to make. I am addicted to Michael Beasley videos. It dawned on me this morning. I was on the can, just scrolling through Instagram, and Michael Beasley apparently, like, I'm not very active on Instagram, as you and Jim hopefully will figure out at some point. When every time I sign in, I got like 7 messages, and I'm like, oh. The fans reaching out. I wonder who's talking to me, and I click on it, and then it's just like links to Jim and Tate
videos.
Yeah, shit posting.
But it's from like a week and a half ago, and then there's no commentary. It's just a link.
That's how Jim and I communicate. It's not even with words. It's just memes and links.
Yeah, 30 times a day.
So I was 2 days late to this one because I was like, I'll check my Instagram. What the hell? I've exhausted Twitter or whatever I was looking at before, and I still got some business to do here. So let me see what's going on Instagram, and the algorithm puts Michael Beasley at the top, and it was 2 days ago is what the post says. So I'm really late to this, but whatever. This was new to me. And Michael Beasley is doing what Michael Beasley does best, which is going to like a Lifetime Fitness and playing a bunch of
regular guys,
just anonymous dudes. And I realized I'm addicted to these videos that Michael Beasley has where he will like catch the ball in the post, and he's like back in the guy. He hasn't dribbled yet. He's just kind of like leaning on the guy, and as he's leaning on the guy, he finds a camera and starts talking to the camera.
Yeah, it's very Kobe.
I can't get enough of it. So I watched that one. His new hashtag is like we them one. Hashtag we them ones.
We them ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that.
And so I watched that whole one, and I was like, I need more of this. I go to his page. I'm just like scrolling back years, like watching all of these Michael Beasley videos, because on this show, Michael Beasley has become famous for being the guy who introduced us to the concept of being him.
Yes.
And that was revolutionary in my world. Like when Michael Beasley said you can have a great play in basketball, and all you have to say is I'm him. I was like, this changes everything for me. This is. I see the world in a different light now.
Yes. Some people were saying that's how Jack White got an NBA deal. He hit a 3 for the Denver Nuggets, and he said, I'm him. And they're like, Australian hits threes, sign him. No other reason.
If you say I'm him enough, NBA execs
sticks. Guy has confidence.
I
can't deny it.
I can't deny it. I got to sign him. So anyway, I was watching Beasley, and Jack White got a comment. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, God.
But I was watching Beasley videos all morning leading up to this show, and I just realized how much I love this man, and that he is like this time of year is Michael Beasley season, because I genuinely have zero idea what Michael Beasley's up to. I saw like I think he's playing in the Big Three, it's the Ice Cube League that Greg played in, right?
Yes, he is. He's also playing in China, I believe. Like for all the Shanghai Shark jokes, I mean,
is he actually? That's what I'm saying. Like, I have no
Google
idea.
This. I think he actually is playing in Shanghai. But I'm not sure.
If you told me Michael
Sharks.
Beasley like signed a 2-year deal with like the Jazz, this like a month ago,
yeah, Danny Ainge would do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be like, yeah, like,
or the Thunder.
From the videos I've been watching, like this guy can go still, so like, yeah, that makes sense.
I can go.
I mean, like, what what else is there? If we're signing guys based off saying I'm him, like, how do you not sign Michael Beasley? But the ultimate point here, Tate, is like basketball right now is just in this gray area of like you don't have any idea what the hell's going on in the world of basketball, in the sense of like LeBron is just showing up at like high school gyms and playing random dudes. How does this work? Make sense of this for us? We don't really know. To me, Michael Beasley thrives on that. Michael Beasley is like the one guy that I want. Michael Beasley, if you're listening, you're invited to any basketball. I'm on behalf of the basketball community, I'm inviting Michael Beasley to every pickup game, every out pro-am, every TBT, whatever. If Michael Beasley shows up with a pair of shoes and just walks into the gym,
we're in.
It's on.
We won.
Let's go. And I want someone videotaping him from when he's in the post and he starts talking to the camera and he's like, watch this. And then like, it's just like random. It really is hilarious. Cause like LeBron at the Drew League got all the pub, but Michael Beasley just clowning on dudes at Lifetime Fitness and then talking to them and saying, you can't guard me. And I assume they're his friends, but at the same time, I like to think they're not.
Yeah, they're not his friends.
That's the better example of a guy who's way too talented playing against randos than LeBron in the Drew League, I think.
But I think Michael Beasley is on a larger mission, which is to prove that the average Joe cannot hang with NBA stars, even ones that they consider busts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think he's actually doing a noble act. And I think that's why we're so okay with him being him. You know what I mean? He is trying to be a basketball Jesus of sorts. He is trying to be a savior for a lost cause, which is that at the end of the day, any bust in the NBA can bust your ass.
That's true.
And that is what that man is going to Lifetime Fitness for. In fact,
I don't know if it's Lifetime Fitness. I just keep saying it, but I'm just like, that's what it looks like.
It's what it looks like. Planet Fitness. It looks at any of Globo Gym, whatever it is.
When I buy my high school gym, that is only half court because the other half was turned into a kitchen.
Michael Beasley is outside once you.
He's just knocking on the door, and he's like,
"Hey, yo, let me in." It's
but
him.
I mean this genuinely, because we'll sometimes, if you guys listen to the show long enough, you know that we'll tell jokes from time to time on this show, and sometimes we're not serious with what we're saying.
No, everything is serious.
I'm very serious with this. I think if you want to talk about legacy, and God, what is an off-season basketball show if not legacy talk?
Yes.
I think Michael Beasley, his videos at Lifetime Fitness where he says, I'm him and we them ones, I think it has done more for his legacy as a basketball player than anything in organized basketball. And then any like NBA, anything he's done,
it's
his
more,
Kansas State
it's more important
career.
than Big 12 Player of the Year.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
Like it's at the point where 50 years from now, I've been talking about
Kansas State fans agree with that. They're like, yeah,
like absolutely.
Honestly, I enjoy the videos.
If you disagree with us about that, and like I'm not even trying to get on Kansas State right now because that just seems unfair.
I like Kansas State.
Yeah, and I like Kansas State. Oh boy, it's the most dangerous words on our show. When Tate goes, and I like, then you know about that the fan.
Real Manhattan.
God forbid, like some Kansas State fans just listen to the show and it's just a random mid-July show and they're like, let's see what the boys are up to, and they're listening and they just catch strays from you and I.
Yeah.
But so this isn't a Kansas State comment. This is just more of like Michael Beasley's college career comment. Do you remember like a definitive game or moment for Michael Beasley?
I remember that he won Big 12 Player of the Year.
Yeah. Do you remember like the game that he scored like 48 at Kansas and beat the number 3 Jayhawks, or that NCAA? No, nobody remembers any of that. You just remember like every single night he had like 27.
I mean, I could remember it, but I
chose not to.
I chose not to.
I think I remembered it at one time, and I watched so many of these videos.
You know, like when you would like get done with a grade in school, and you're like, "Will I remember any of that? Do I need to remember that?" Like, and sometimes you just dump the archive. That's kind of what I did with basketball highlights over the years. You know what I mean? It was like, was it worth watching Shabazz Muhammad that many times?
Yeah.
No, dump those.
Yeah,
dump those highlights. Jameson Curry, dump those highlights.
We should do that at the end of the year. We should do that for the Duffy Awards. Like, I'm dumping this. Like, here's something that happened this year in college basketball. I don't want to remember this. I just don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Drew Timmy last season.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
I invested too much time.
Who cares?
I dumped.
I'm going to dump it. I don't want to.
And maybe this year will be refreshed because I dumped it. I don't even remember what Drew Timmy did in the past.
Yeah, mine's just like the Big Ten and the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, you dump
So
it.
I just dump it.
Yeah.
It's in the dump box. I choose to not remember any of this. But no, Michael This is going to be an hour and a half show. Michael Beasley talk.
It's great for Beasley's brand.
Beasley, I really genuinely believe that. I've been talking about my non-existent kids a lot lately. I'm gonna do it again. In 30 years, when I finally grow the stones to have children, Tate, and my 7-year-old is like, Dad, who is Michael Beasley? Some kids at school were talking about Michael Beasley. Who is Michael Beasley? I think the first thing out of my mouth is going to be like, he's him. Mm-hmm. And here's why. And I'm going to show him videos of Lifetime Fitness. I'm not going to say, oh, dude, he was one of the best freshman years we've ever seen at the Big 12. And no, who cares? Who cares about any of that? That is his legacy to me. And I think it's important that we have legacies like that. It's very important if basketball is going to thrive as a sport. We can't have guys that are shoehorned into the NBA or college. You know, like Tyler Hansbrough, you get to be a college legend. You know, Paul George, you sucked in college, but congratulations, you're an NBA. Like, we need guys like Michael Beasley that bridge the gap, that are just like, he's him. He is basketball Jesus, as you said. He brings all of us together.
We break bread because of Michael Beasley.
Yeah. All of us come to the table and we're just
I see it now. Your kid is at discipleship class in Indiana and he comes home and he's learned about, the story of Jesus Christ. And you say, no, son.
Yeah.
he is not him.
He's like,
let me show you
he's like,
him.
Who's Michael Beasley? And I'm like,
pull up TikTok.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad.
No, I'm like, the 61-year-old guy that keeps knocking on our door to play in our half kitchen?
Yes.
He's him.
He's him.
That's Michael Beasley. He's one of them ones. He's we #we them ones.
And the best part about it is that Michael Beasley doesn't have to play in Drew League. Michael Beasley doesn't have to go to Rucker Park like Kevin Durant did or Kobe did. You know what I mean? Yeah. He doesn't have to do any of that. He can go to a random regular run because he has paved his own path.
Yes.
And like you said, he is his own person and he is in his own lane. And somehow that lane can just fall into any category of basketball because we've all been in a Lifetime Fitness playing basketball. If you like basketball, you have played in a gym like that, so we can all relate.
This is the video of shit.
And he has a video crew. Like,
the ball is live right now. The ball is live. And he's talking.
Basically doing a podcast live. And I think the basketball has a microphone in it.
And he's got like sweatpants. He's always got like sweatpants and chains on, so he looks like he's like like he just rolled out of bed, or he was just like playing video games, and he's like, yeah, I'll come stop by and drop 40 on you guys. This is amazing. I love this, man. We can move on to something else, but
I mean,
it is Michael Beasley season, and I want to say, like,
he is the him of pro-am basketball.
Yeah.
Even if he's not at the biggest pro-am games, he's still him.
What is the so? I guess we can open up discussion more about pro-am basketball. What is the biggest pro-am? Is it the Drew League? I feel like it's the most famous at this point because of Kobe and LeBron.
Exactly. DeMar DeRozan, James Harden.
Yeah.
Those are the real guys.
Jim's shaking his head. No.
I think the biggest pro-am league is college basketball. The NIL. Think about it. Get back to me.
Yeah. Jim just galaxy brained us with NIL.
It's technically not wrong. Because there are actually going to be this year in college basketball, there will be players that are technically pros. And there will be players that are AMs because they're like not worth any money. That's a great point. Good point, Jim.
Good
job.
Finally, a good point from Jim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job. What is the Drew League? You played in it? LeBron has played in it. Mm-hmm. You are what is LeBron? What what does this
That's
mean
on the Wikipedia page. That's the first sentence. Tate Frazier played in it.
And LeBron James.
Played in it. What does this mean for LeBron's legacy? How did how many? Because he didn't shoot well from three. I saw people were talking. Skip Bayless pointed that
4 of 13.
Yeah. That he was.
See, I didn't dump that stat. I remembered that one. No, LeBron James. This was cool. This was a good move for LeBron James. This is a good brand play. I remember maybe it was 2 years ago. LeBron owns Blaze Pizzas. There's a lot of Blaze Pizzas around here, and there's one that I used to live close by, basically in Culver City in Palms. Right? Yeah. You know that.
I live by there too. Yeah,
you know.
And
that
I remember. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I'm gonna. I don't know if you're gonna say this, but there was the one day where he was gonna like show up there. Yeah, yes.
And Kyrie.
Yeah, and he did not show up to give out this Blaze Pizza, and I was planning to go there to see LeBron and get this Blaze Pizza. And I was like, really bad brand play. You know what I mean? And I think this Drew League move, in my mind, made up for this pizza fiasco. And I think
What about the decision?
No, the decision. There's no coming back from that one.
Yeah. But this is good for Blaze Pizza.
But this is good for Blaze Pizza. This is good for LeBron James. And the Drew League is really a league of the people, for the people, by the people. Of Los Angeles County. It's, basically in Compton. It's a magnet school that started in 2012 that's took it over, but it's been going on since 1973. This is like a legit
they played in
Los
Compton?
Angeles Pro-Am league. Yeah.
And they play it at a real school?
They played at a magnet school now that I think opened in like 2012. That's where we played. It's like a really nice school. It's all brought to you and sponsored by Nike. So it's like, it's legit now. So it's got actual brands at play, and then it has big names that come in, but in reality it's a local league and a local summer run by coaches and basketball lovers.
What is
in the community?
What would you say the objective? Because so I'm nodding along to that.
Yeah.
But if you're the guy that's starting the Drew League and you're doing a pitch, and we had the guy who started it on the show say, and I just straight up asked him like,
I think his name is Dino.
Dino, why? In a word, why? Why start that? Like, what are we trying to accomplish? Is it just simply give people a place to play?
I think it's to figure out who the best players are in LA.
Okay.
It's like we're trying to figure out who the best hoopers are in LA. So it's
like
everybody in LA coming together to play in an organized league with organized teams to figure out who's really one of them ones and who's really him.
Who's got the dog in him?
And LeBron James went to the Drew League to show that he's him. And DeMar DeRozan was there. He's one of them ones. Talon Horton-Tucker, THT, he came the next day, had like 13 points. People were like, not one of them ones. You know what I mean? So it's
what do you have to score to get respect in a game?
30.
You have to do at least 30.
30.
You have to drop 30.
I had 22. I was going.
You had 22.
I had 22. We played complex, and we got worked the first game we played against them, but that was deemed a scrimmage, and then we played the real game, and I basically sandbagged them because I didn't get the ball in the first game really. Second game, I was like, I'm putting up shots, and we won.
But this was a different league. This wasn't.
This was a media. No. This
No.
there was a media Drew League that they did. This is like 2017. It was brought to you by Kevin Durant, like his brand. So it was like KD night. We got KD 12s. This is right before he left to go to Golden State. So this is like end of OKC.
He wasn't the absolute worst yet.
I guess not, but it was like when I got the stuff, I was like, wow, this is nice KD gear. I didn't know Drew League was balling like this, so it's really nice. I think a lot of people were like, how's he playing in this random rec league? It's like Drew League, it's Nike, influenced.
Okay.
So
okay.
If that helps make it clear.
Yeah, it feels like it's got a little bit of a. I don't know.
I mean, they invited the Ringer and Complex and other media companies to play each other and form a media league.
How was BuzzFeed's team? Were they any good?
They may have had a team. We only played complex.
Top 15 reasons we're gonna kick your ass is what they said.
We only played. The worst part was we went to practice and they tried to run us through drills, and half our team didn't know how to do.
How was the
Jim?
Who was the worst?
Jim, were you on the team?
No,
you're at the
I wasn't allowed to partake. I was too good.
We won though.
Who else
People
was on?
forget.
No, we don't need a name.
No.
Who was the worst?
No,
Who was the worst?
There were some good players out there. Shout out to those people.
What other websites were there? Refinery 29.
Goop. Was Goop? Did Goop have a team?
AOL. I feel like Fox did.
AOL comes in. They're all
really?
like 60 years old. AOL guys.
I think MSN was there. No, I'm kidding.
AOL. You saying AOL reminds me.
BuzzFeed had to be there.
BuzzFeed doing talking trash, but only in lists is hilarious. That's a hilarious idea. They're just like,
here's 10 reasons why you suck.
17 times my hook shot looked like Spider-Man.
Oh man, what a time.
I got roped into when I lived in Columbus playing in a co-ed kickball league one time that I took. It brings back some dark memories because I was a guy, I got in a lot of fights, and I always thought that like I always thought that I was like Batman, like I was like the hero, because like I would only fight people when they would start, like guys would show up wearing cleats and like slide into second base and like, you know, cleat the shit out of the shins of some of the women on our team, and then I would, you know, I in my mind I was like the hero, so like I would be like, hey buddy. And then now I look back on it and I was like, if you're fighting in a kickball game, you lose. Yeah, you lose. You've lost. Yeah. It's like, you know, the old saying, wrestling the pig in mud or whatever. But one funny memory that I love from that time was there was a Columbus Dispatch team, the local newspaper, and every single guy was like 65, 70 years old. And they were terrible. They were absolutely terrible. They had I want to be on their team looking back on it. There was just like a group of dudes, because the Dispatch, the Dispatch offices were right next to like where we played. So they would like get done with their shift. They would just come over, play some kickball, lose like 13-1 or something. They would score one run. They'd all be like high-fiving, chest bumping. They'd go to the bar, have a bunch of beers. They were like the happiest team by far. And then, like when we play other teams, I'd be fighting everybody. But Jim saying AOL reminded me of that. I would love to see the AOL team. Yeah, that they're just that Bob Ryan's out there.
Yeah, it definitely had
Boston,
like
the original Boston Globe team.
Yeah, it had a dodgeball vibe to it, where like all the teams sort of represented. You know, it's like what you thought. You know what I mean? Right. You can't really hide.
Is it like a Groupon team or like one of those, and they bring in like so many people?
No, it was just all, you know, your classic like vulture, you know.
There's like a
vulture.
There's a Google team and Michael Beasley's on it. Like, they've just bought like NBA players.
See, Grantland, when I was an intern, they had a team at TBT. Grantland did, and they had like Mike Bibby on the team. You remember that?
They brought all the ringers in.
Yeah. And I had a jersey for that because they told me I was gonna be able to play in it. And then I showed up with my jersey thinking I was gonna play, and then it was Mike Bibby warming up Scalabrini. I was like, I guess I'm not playing.
They recruited over me.
Yeah, they recruited over me.
And then they lost.
Yeah, and then they lost. Yeah. Dude, you remember, Jim.
Should we revive the Grantland TBT team? Who has the rights to that? ESPN, I guess?
David Jacoby.
David Jacoby?
Yeah. David Jacoby did everything.
Should we buy the rights?
Because he brought me into his office and was like, "Can you play basketball for real?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was 22. I was like, "Yeah, for sure." Like, what do you need me to do?
I could dribble through my legs.
I was like, "This is finally something I could do here." You know? I was like, "Yeah, I'm in, dude. Sign me up." He was like, "Come here this date. Here's your jersey." Bang. Went there, showed up. My shoes are like in my head, like I'm about to play, and then Mike Bibby's there.
Kobe's like, give him your jersey.
My jersey had my name on it. That's how I knew I was going to play. I was like, I have my name on this.
This is like that Simpsons, the baseball team, where like all the ringers get brought in by Mr. Burns.
Exactly.
Everyone disappears except Darryl Strawberry.
Dude.
Takes Homer's spot.
It was terrible.
Oh, man. So...
That's pro-am basketball.
That's the Drew League.
Yeah, that's pro-am basketball.
That helps.
Yeah,
I've always known that the Drew League exists, and I kind of understand what it is, but I need you to explain to our audience like what we're trying to accomplish with it. What does it mean that like what is it a good thing that NBA player? I mean, I guess it is because it raises the profile of it, but like that seems to go against what. My question is this. So if I was to, I mean, probably not now, I'm washed up and old and whatever, but like when I would go every so often go play pickup games, and I would play hard. Like I have one buddy who is in great shape, Tate. I don't know how, I don't want to, how do I say this? My buddy works with Mike. He's like Mike's trainer. He's Brian's his name. He's a good dude. He's a great friend of mine. I didn't want to use his name, but we're here now. So there it is. Brian is jacked to the gills. He's got like 0% body fat. He's just, I don't know if you've never met him, right? He looks like Keller if Keller worked out. And
I think I met him in Vegas.
Yeah,
you're in Vegas.
Yeah.
I
So
met him.
Brian loves playing. You did meet him?
Yeah.
So he loves playing pickup basketball, and he'd invite me to some games. And I was more talented, more skilled than everybody that we would play against, but I wasn't in the greatest shape because I was like done playing at this point, and I was like, putting on the pounds and everything. But Brian was in an impeccable shape, and so I would get sucked into these situations where like Brian's guarding me, and I was like, "F it, I'm gonna try my hardest. Like I'm gonna go as hard as I can because Like it felt fair to me. It felt like whatever advantage I had skill wise, he had it physically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would go hard, and some days I would just I couldn't miss, and I was feeling it, and I would and I'm torching everybody, whatever. And then like I would carry that energy to like other pickup games I would play, and I would like keep going hard and like whatever. And then I realized like I'm kind of an asshole. Long story to say, basically, like I did some self-reflection at this point in my life where I realized nobody likes the guy who's like, we get it, man. You play D1 or like you did. Nobody likes that guy.
Yeah.
At the pickup game or at the rec league, whatever. I did this with you guys. I played one game with you guys, and I was like pulling up from half court just for the fun of it, and I remember hitting one, and I was just like, yeah, I still got it, whatever. And then I went home and I was like, I'm a douche. I suck. But then how come when LeBron does this, it's cool and it's like good for basketball? You know what I mean?
Well, that's why you have to be able to shoulder. Being him isn't just the glory. You know, being him is shouldering that feeling. You know what I mean? Michael Beasley goes in and everyone's like, this douche again? Who's going to come here and talk shit?
We get it, Mike. We get it. Yeah.
But he's him. He's willing to shoulder that. He's willing to handle that. And he's willing to overcome that. And I think that is why he is him. I think you could have been him. You know what I mean?
I'm not him. That's what you're saying. Because I remember.
I think you might be one of them ones.
I remember filling in for one of your buddies' leagues or something. I came and filled in one time.
Yeah.
I remember I had a good.
Our Santa Monica league.
I think I filled in a couple times, but one night I remember I had a really good game, and I remember like trying to count up how many points I scored. I was like, did I score like 33 in this? And then I was counting it up. I was like, dude, how big of a loser are you that you're counting this up? But then
I count.
Then I'm watching these pro-am things, and I feel like that's the model.
Game.
Like if you're better than everybody,
you got to go for the throw.
You got to go for it.
Or someone's gonna go for your neck. You know what I mean? Like it's basically a game of survival, and that's why when
it's so weird.
Well, people were showing LeBron before the pro-am, and he's like doing his normal routine. Like he was like. He looked like
chalking it up.
He really was. Like he looked like he was locked. It looked like he was about to play a playoff game. It's like because you go out there and this is the one opportunity for pretty much everyone else out there to go at your neck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like no matter who you are, as you know, like on a basketball court, like you can get got if you're not on your toes.
It is true.
There is a level of hubris that you cannot have going into an environment like that. And I respected that LeBron came in trying to throw down. Because I always worry with LeBron that he might overlook a situation, which I think is why Kyrie ended up not playing. Because Kyrie probably was like, "Oh, I'll just go in there and kill these guys," and then he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be some real shit." And he can't use force and size.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's a different game.
He needs the refs.
He's getting picked up full court, and some guys like, "I'm trying to swipe Kyrie."
Yeah, and he knows the refs aren't calling in this league. You get physical. Yeah, it's not the NBA.
No,
yeah, you're not getting the
no. And like, do I really want to like pull like 30 spin moves out like in a pro-am game to survive? No,
I don't. Yeah. I wouldn't.
Michael Beasley would.
Yeah, Michael Beasley's like, yes, I will do that. So is there any situation where a guy who's more talented than the group that he's playing with, and he just goes 100%? Is there any situation where you're like, we don't need to do this? Assuming it's like I mean, I guess there's got to be if you're playing like sixth graders.
Yeah, I guess definitely with kids, but like in a pro-am situation, I don't think there's any game where you would be doing too much.
Is that the difference between a pro-am and like a pickup game? Is that pro-am?
That's the
once you put the pro-am stamp on it, you can go as hard as you want.
Yes, facts.
If it's a pickup game, maybe there's like some nuance to like
it's like get out of here, dude. You don't want to play.
We get it. Yeah, we're all just here for exercise. We don't need to see you.
We're just trying to play a clean game.
Doing 3 to the dome every time you shot on.
Stop tapping your head after you dunk on me. That's a lot of the crowd. I mean, that's what the pickup game is. But even in scrimmages like that you played in, like when we played in Santa Monica, it's like you kind of sign up for it. I mean, you're playing in a real game.
You have refs and you're keeping score.
Exactly.
I think you got to go hard. Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's anything like that, I'm never going to shame anyone for going for 100. Never.
You know they only won by 2 points, LeBron.
I do know this. I do.
104-102.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a game. It's a game of survival out there. Like if he lost, like
if they lost, do you think he would just have the Drew League disbanded?
Yes.
Like taken down.
Yes. Nike pulls sponsorship if he loses that game.
It's an Adidas league.
What if he had a injury?
I mean, God forbid. He said he was 100% after the game.
Well, because they won.
Yes, because they won. He was 80.
If they lost, he would have been limping.
He's in a cast.
He's in a cast.
He's coming out in a cast.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He's the picture of Big Ben with the ice packs on, just like waddling to his car.
Oh man, I mean, it was impressive. It was impressive to see LeBron do that. I did not think he would do something so vulnerable. Because, like I said, he's not safe.
It is true.
He's not protected out there.
There's nothing to gain except, I guess, as you said, though, maybe it makes up Blaze Pizza.
I think that's why he did it.
He's like, I owe the city.
Yeah, I owe him something.
I owe them something.
Because they're got to be in his ear now, and they're like, little birds are telling me that these Laker fans are never going to love you, and that they're going to stay with Kobe forever. And
those
LeBron's
little birds
like,
are Genie Bus. By little birds, you mean Genie Bus on Twitter.
Yes, they're tweeting and liking tweets.
Yeah. I think that's what you mean.
And so he was like, I got to do something for the people. And this was really for the people of LA move. So I look, I'm not a LeBron guy, but I tip my cap. And I like the guy.
I want to apologize for I blacked out there for a second. I pretended like I was good at basketball and what I was and
no man, you were trying to ask a true question.
I didn't want to come across like saying like I'm so much better than everyone I play pickup with, but
did you?
I gotta be honest. There are days where I have been so much better than everyone I'm playing pickup with, and I'm like, am I an asshole? Am I an asshole that I just?
Yes.
And yeah,
the rule.
I usually land on yes.
Well, the rule is, unfortunately, to be great, you have to be an asshole, and that's why when people,
that's a great point.
When people talk about Vince Carter to me, I'm like, Vince Carter to me is a top 30 player all time, but he's not an asshole, and so therefore he literally his best career was his third year. He didn't go to the finals because people were like, this guy doesn't have it. AI goes to the finals in 2001. His whole career changes forever. Tracy McGrady leaves him. You know what I mean? Not an asshole. He should have been an asshole and been like, dude, you're not going to Orlando. You're staying in Toronto and we're going to win a title.
Who's the GOAT? Who's the greatest player ever to not have the dog in him? Is it Shaq? Would he count?
Shaq has like a chihuahua in him.
Yeah, he's got a little bit.
He's got a little dog.
Yeah. If you get him on the right day,
he's got a little dog.
He's the definition of like, I don't have the dog in. Well, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm good once. But like on the one, everyone remembers that quote that I just butchered out. Toby Keith said that, right? He doesn't live with the dog in him, but you get it like on that one moment, that one like look from Todd McCullough or Greg Ostertag.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, all right, I got the dog.
Mark Madsen in practice.
He looks across and sees a goofy white dude guarding him and starts licking his lips. He's like, I got the dog in me tonight.
Feed me, Kobe. Mark Madsen just gets absolutely dunked on. Yeah, he doesn't have.
What about Wilt? Wilt might be the answer. I feel like Wilt didn't have the dog in him.
No.
That was the big knock on Wilt, right?
Yeah. I mean, even Kareem.
Yeah.
I mean, that was what some of the argument was, but then Kareem was like, look, man, I'm working my ass off down here in the post, and I got my own move that no one else has ever mastered. Leave me alone, which you get at some level.
And then he's like, I punched Kent Benson in the face, too, and broke his face.
Yeah, so he's got some dog
That's a little dog. Like,
yeah.
if I was Kareem, I would just point to that. I'd be like, remember when Kent Benson elbowed me in the ribs and I punched him in the face? And broke his face?
Jordan is a dog, for sure. Like, yeah. I mean, Larry Bird's a dog. I mean, Kobe's a dog.
Larry Bird's definitely a dog. Yeah.
There's somebody that don't even have the dog in him. They just are a dog, and that's like Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete.
Bob Cousy, of course.
What would Bob Cousy do at the Drew League?
Dude, honestly, Bob Cousy's dropping 25 assists in the Drew League. That's a fact. Bob Cousy comes in the Drew League. He pisses people off from the jump because he's slapping that ball up the court. But then that vision that he has is off the charts. 25 assists. Gives up 70 points.
Is he wearing white high top Chucks? Right.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
The Drew League needs a professor type, like the white guy that like.
I think Mac McClung is the chosen one.
Yeah.
I think if the NBA doesn't work out, Mac McClung goes Drew League.
Mac, if you're listening, follow in Michael Beasley's footsteps. That could be your destiny. You could be him. You could be just like Drew League legend. Just go wherever Beasley goes and guard him. Or they should team up. They should
team up. They should be a tag team.
They just show up. They're like the bad.
White men can't jump with Mac McClung and Michael Beasley.
Done. Done. Make it, Jim. Jim, write that down.
Jim. And
send that to Hollywood.
And Riff Raff is in it.
And Riff Raff is... Jim, are you writing this down?
Yeah, Riff Raff is making the soundtrack. Simon Rex is directing.
Nice.
Jim, the next time you see a celebrity on a flight, pitch them that idea.
Amy Smart. I got an idea for you.
Amy Schumer.
Ooh. She's probably got more cachet now.
Amy Schumer is the Rosie Perez role. In this iteration.
I like it. Oh, man.
Did you see Malachi Flynn had 73 points?
That was impressive. And what's even more impressive is that Jamal Crawford, who I'm a big Jamal Crawford guy, who's also a big Pro-Am guy. This is his Pro-Am, and he said the day before that Malachi Flynn was going to put on an absolute show. And there were a lot of people who were like, LOL, trying to hype up Malachi Flynn, SMH, because he averages 6 points a game. But then he dropped 73, and Malachi Flynn he is out there now. He might be one of them ones.
At what point does it reach the Wilt territory where you hear a guy scored an absurd amount of points and you're no longer impressed because you're like, was this like a rural church league that you were in or something? Like, what's going on here? Like, you scored 124 points in a church league game. Like, am I supposed to be impressed by that?
I scored 42 in a church league game.
I think Isaiah Thomas had 81 in that same league last year.
The left-handed Isaiah Thomas.
Sure. The new one.
Yeah, the new
2.0.
The
Little Isaiah.
The remix.
The one the Celtics.
Yes. Ruined. Yeah.
That one. He had 81.
Same league.
I feel like 81's the cutoff because once you get above 81, because I think that's the Kobe.
Yeah, he did it
for
Kobe
cutoff.
Yeah.
Because Kobe's 81. Like, you talk to the right person, which is basically like anyone that doesn't have gray hair right now. They will argue that Kobe's 81 is far cooler and far more impressive than Wilt's 100. So in a lot of people's minds, like, that is like, once you go past 81, now you're in Wilt territory, and it's like it's not impressive anymore. It's more like you have a bunch of plumbers guarding you.
Yeah,
right.
I think so.
So 81's probably the cutoff.
I think 81's a number. I also think there's a world in which Giannis drops over 80 in a playoff game at some point. I really do. I think there's a world.
Can't miss from three.
He just like absolutely decide. Like, they're in a game and you're like, there's no way they're gonna win. Chris Middleton's out, Drew Holiday's out, and Giannis has 85.
I think this should be
85 and 45.
Has anybody pitched this idea to save the NBA? Because the NBA is broken. We know this. As first reported.
Look at us. We're talking about the Pro-Am instead of Summer League. There was a Summer League championship game that we didn't even watch. We were watching the Drew League.
Right. Yeah, I actually had it on. I didn't watch it. I had it on. I'm not even kidding. I turned it on and I was like doing chores around the house. And I just kept looking up, and the Blazers were up like 16 at one point. And then I was like,
I don't know when the tournament happened. You know what I mean?
I don't think there is a tournament. I think there's I think it's like the selection committee. I think that's what Condoleezza Rice is up to. She heads the Summer League selection committee. She watches all of Summer League, and then she picks her top two teams to play each other. It's like the BCS type deal. I think that's how it works.
I thought there was like an actual tournament, but you're right, because I could not figure out a bracket. No wonder the NBA is broken. They don't even understand brackets.
No, it's Adam Silver's NBA, dude. But has anyone pitched the idea? You talking about Giannis scoring 80 in a playoff game?
Yeah.
What about incentives to get players to care about regular season? And now we have to worry about getting players to care in the playoffs, as we learned from the Phoenix Suns.
Philadelphia
76ers. So it's an uphill climb here. Are there incentives if you break records?
There has to be.
Like, why don't you why doesn't Adam Silver put out a bounty before the season where he's just like, if you break any of these 10 records, we will give you $20 million.
Yeah, and it should start with the assist record,
and
right?
Because
Scott Skiles, we got to break that.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, do something.
We identify the most problematic, find every record Karl Malone has, and we're like, someone has
LeBron, break this.
Oh, I thought you were saying LeBron's problematic.
No.
I thought you were just likening LeBron to Karl Malone. I see. Yeah, you look at the record books. You say all the records that are held by heads in the NBA, they need to be broken. We're going to put out we're going to specifically ask guys to break these records. Can you do it? Yeah. Alex Caruso, we will pay you $25 million if you can get. What Scott Skiles have 25 assists in a game?
I think it's 30.
30?
30 assists. Yeah.
Yikes, dude.
No, I think it has to be either a Chris Paul or a Jose Alvarado, for the Pelicans. Jose Alvarado, it's a back-to-back. He starts, And then it's just a bunch of scrubs for the Pelicans that are playing with Brandon Ingram, who has 60 in the game, and Alvarado has 30 assists.
But I think the NBA needs that. I'm not even kidding. I think that would be sick.
Yeah.
Because that would be like the equivalent of the Sosa McGuire home run race,
Yeah.
And that just becomes a thing all season. It's like we all the basketball fans, we have our eyes locked on 7 different records, and we're trying to keep track of who could break what.
Yeah, it's 30 assists in a game, Scott Skiles, in 1990.
Plymouth, Indiana legend, Scott Skiles.
But there's a lot of people that have said that this is kind of a ruse and that he was given some hockey assists. You know what I mean?
Release the tapes?
Release the tapes, yeah. In fact, the people that have told me that, Bob Cousy's camp. Because Bob Cousy has 28 assists, and he would have the record if it wasn't for the chicanery that Scott Skiles was up to. So if anything, maybe free Cousy. Bring back Cousy.
Dude, somebody...
Cousy had 19 and a half. It says on this website.
Is that more impressive than 30 in a game? It might be. It might be. And if Bob Cousy was playing against plumbers, Tate, that means he was playing with plumbers. And,
yes.
And for the assist record, you have to pass to guys that can score.
Yeah. These guys are plumbers. So
he's passing to plumbers.
Yeah, he's passing to guys. This is their second job.
Yes.
Playing basketball. So how little could they care about this?
Right.
And they're still putting up baskets. So I think he should get double the assists.
He should double yeah. That's a great point.
Make a formula, Evan Miyakawa.
I want to see. Put Evan to work. I want to see like I see it as
plumbers to players ratio,
or just the untold story of the Scott Skiles 30 assist game that someone makes like a 37-minute YouTube, and I watched the first like 4 minutes, and I'm like, Jesus, dude, we got 33 more minutes of this. And then I fast forward to the end, and then I retweet it, and I was like, this was sick. Good job to whoever made this. I think someone should make that.
He also
investigate the Bob Cousy versus Scott Skiles assist record.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even play the whole game either, Scott Skiles. He only played 44 minutes in this game. So
do you think it happened organically is my question, though? Or do you think, because Scott Skiles is a real son of a bitch. We know that. Mm-hmm. If you're listening, you don't know anything about Scott Skiles, just Google Scott Skiles and enter. And I'm guessing the first. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. I'm guessing the first thing that comes up is Scott Skiles is a real son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Scott Skiles, enter. Yeah, it does. It's an article from Yahoo in 2007. Scott Skiles is a real son of a bitch is the headline. No, someone did the game where Scott Skiles set an NBA record with 30 assists in 1990.
Did they already analyze it?
Who's the high scorer in that game? Who was he feeding? Like Nick Anderson?
Do you think the question I was going to ask you is, do you think it happened organically, that he was just like playing ball and he looked up, he's like, oh, how about that 30? Or do you think it was like,
no, he was going for the record.
Yeah, and we need to have guys going for it now. And these regular season games that nobody cares about. The players don't care, the fans don't care.
And to show you a difference between someone who's not going for it, John Stockton the next year had a game where he had 28 assists. Probably could have easily gotten 30, but was like, I don't stat pad.
Well, if John Stockton broke Scott Skiles' record, I think we'd still be in the same. we need somebody to break that. I think
we need Cousy.
I don't think that's.
We need Cousy. I mean, that's all I'm saying. There's a lot of guys that have had 28 assist games. We need Cousy.
We need. Yeah, dude. How sick would it be if Adam Silver said, if someone shatters a backboard this year, we will pay you $34 million.
Giannis.
Yeah.
Break that backboard.
Giannis. Zion, suddenly whatever ailment you have that's keeping you sidelined, I'm guessing he's fine now. And he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to break. He just looks straight into the camera. Michael Beasley just is posting up, and he's looking at the camera. He's like,
watch this.
Nicolas Cage.
He's like, Usher. Watch this.
No, I was thinking Nicolas Cage and National Treasure. I'm going to do it. I'm going to steal a declaration. He's like,
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to break the backboard. Just hammers home a dunk.
What's even worse is that Russell Westbrook is our best hope of current players. He has 2 games where he had 24 assists. So, like you said, I mean, it's like, is it worth watching Russell Westbrook dish out 30 assists?
What about Harden just feeding Embiid? And Harden like slips a little money to the Sixers statistician. And it's like when I post feed Embiid, and then he holds the ball for 8 seconds and faces up and jab steps.
Assist.
And then makes a move.
Who got him that ball?
Yeah.
Who got him that ball? Me.
Yes.
Entry pass. Yeah, that's pretty much what James Harden said. Everyone's really excited that he was like, I told Daryl to pay everybody and then give me the rest of the money. It's like, well, James Harden is kind of saying, I might be past my prime. You know what I mean? Like, that's a subtle way of saying that, but I'm excited to see what the six.
So I found this article. I really did. I googled Scott Skiles, fadeawayworld.net. Shout out to that great publication.
Tight.
Fadeaway World. I think they tried to hire me one time. I turned them down though. Boy, do I regret it now that I see this article. The game occurred December 30th, 1990. The Magic faced off against the Denver Nuggets. The game was played in Orlando at the time. And at the time, not too many people were interested. Of course, that's what I mean. Like you're breaking records, suddenly people are going to get interested. The Magic came into the game with a dismal 6-23 record. Their opponent, the Nuggets, weren't much better with a 6-22 record. So there you have it. Scott Skiles
terrible game, garbage time game.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going for it. I'm gonna set this record, and I think the NBA needs that. I think that's a great way to fix the league. I don't know.
Garbage time. I think you could fix the league doing
hashtag that. Just my, what was LeBron's hashtag that one time? Just my thoughts coming from a sports junkie, regardless of the sport I play.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was.
I watched a little bit of the Overtime Elite. I'm not proud of this. The Overtime Elite versus, shout out to the guy, someone on Twitter tweeted at us and was like, I'm in the building, boots on the ground journalism. I'm here to see the two most hated teams in TBT because Titus hates Overtime Elite so much and Tate hates Creighton because of Grant Gibbs.
Facts.
In 2012.
Facts.
Who you guys cheering for? And I was like, well, I'm definitely cheering for Creighton, duh. And Tate was probably like, I'm definitely cheering for Overtime Elite. But
honestly, I abstained.
Yeah,
I hope they both lose.
I had the game on because like, boy, I had a very boring weekend and I had nothing to watch other than golf. And once the Open ended, I was like, what do I do now? And that's my way of setting it up that I want to say those twins that we were talking about the last show, the Oster twins.
Yeah, are they good?
They're pretty good, dude.
Are they really?
They're pretty good.
No way.
Yeah, I'm disgusted with myself, but I was like, these guys are pretty good.
So what do they do? What do they do well? Trevor D is the guy we treated as real trade-in.
Yeah, shout out to Trevor. They are long and athletic and can jump out of the gym.
I've seen that.
Great point.
Seen that.
Great point.
That's where I'm at with all this. All the rangy prospects and everything. Seen it. Seen the best version of it. Number 34.
They're also playing against, like, I don't know if this is true, but like anytime I'm watching TBT, I just assume every guy on the court is 37 years old.
Yeah. And
just broken down.
Yes.
It's just like can push people around and because that's basically like what those games devolve into is just like they get super physical and the refs are the refs don't want to get shot in the parking lot, so they're just kind of like stuck in no man's land of like, what do I do here? So anytime like a guy, or in this case two guys, these Oster, is that how you say their last name? The twins are young and just super explosive. It looks amplified when you're playing in TBT because everyone in TBT is like DeJuan Blair with no knees. Is how I view them.
It's like everybody in my mind at TBT is Ott Elmore. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that's who
TBT legend Ott Elmore.
That's who every single person is in my head, and that's like all respect Ott Elmore because that's the man that like he's the face of he's the logo. He's the Jerry West of TBT.
Did you see Snacks is on the there's an HBCU team,
Respect.
HBC United.
Respect.
That one in Rucker Park, and Snacks, everyone remembers Snacks. He was on the team. I don't know how much he's playing or if this was the Tate Frazier Grantland team situation.
yeah, they gave him a jersey.
But I don't know, the propaganda's out there where like I was seeing pictures of Snacks in his jersey getting shots up, at least. I didn't watch that game, but yeah, there's that going on. So if you're into that.
I mean, TBT, I feel like every year I think I'm going to watch it and I think I'm going to be really into it and I really want to be. But then it's sort of similar to NBA Summer League. I get lost.
TBT, and I say this seriously, TBT is great. It is a great addition to the basketball calendar. It's a great idea. It has legs at this point, I think. I think it's going to be around a while. I love the Elam ending. The fact that the NBA has used it in an All-Star game, that's worth it right there. If I'm the TBT guys, I'm like, we did it. We won, hang the banner. We got the NBA to use our idea in an All-Star game. I've been trying to get the NBA to use my ideas for 35 years, Tate, and Adam Silver won't listen to me.
Yeah. Mark Tatum.
Yeah.
Where art thou?
Get Mark Tatum in that
on
throne.
the line.
Get him on the line. Let him take over for Silver and watch this league take off. But I mean this seriously, that TBT is great, but at the same time, it kind of highlights why college basketball rules and why it will always rule, which is that we don't care about the players, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately.
We care about the teams.
I know. And the fact that they can't even say like it's, Carolina alumni or Ohio State alumni. It's always like some variation because of licensing and things,
Yeah.
It hurts. But when it's not that, you're like,
that's
good luck.
The tough pill to swallow from all this is like people obviously do not care.
The universities are made up of people, and they're the reasons why you have these fond memories. But at the end of the day, the people aren't who you're going to side with, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that's just how it is.
You side with the institution.
You always, the fans are always going to side with the institution.
Yeah.
And to that point.
And that's why the players in the NBA are like, yeah, that's why I make business decisions, because they don't care about me. I'm an asset at this point. Like, and you get that side of it too. You're like, yeah, exactly.
You are, yes. You are. We don't care about you.
That is what they're saying.
Kevin Durant, that's why you have 0 fans. Because that's okay. That's your choice. But then don't get on Twitter and be like, why don't people like
you? You know what I realized? Kevin Durant should go back to OKC. That's the only way.
That is the only way. Or to Seattle.
And lose. And lose.
Yeah.
He has to lose.
Kevin Durant has to go. He has to miss the playoffs like the next 3 years to save his legacy. Because he has to be a loser. You have to lose in order to know how to win.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. In The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler one, the new one, he's like, the whole line stops blocking for him, because they like realize he did fix the game. Like, and they just like, and he has to take it on his chin, but then he finally tries on his own, gets the first down, and everyone's like, wow, I respect that you're actually going to compete here. That's what Kevin Durant needs. He needs that moment in time where we're like, even though he has no chance to win a championship, even though like all of the glory is really gone as far as what he can go for here in OKC, he still went for it. It's what Chris Paul did. Chris Paul went to OKC for 1 year. People forget.
That's true.
And like revived and made Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and all these guys like a real basketball team, and then he got a better opportunity.
And now look at Chris Paul. Nobody's making jokes about him whatsoever.
Not for a year. Not for 1 year.
There was a moment in time
where one year where it worked.
Great poll, by the way. Adam Sandler, Longest Yard.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I watched that movie. I left the theater. Haven't thought about it since 2005.
It was on TBS the other day. And I was flicking by and I was like, oh, yeah, I remember this. And then, I love Burt Reynolds, and I was like,
isn't that I keep looking at Jim because I think Jim's giving me eyes like, I have no idea what the hell you guys are talking about.
I was gonna watch it tonight, but Tate just spoiled the whole thing for me.
Was it?
It came out 2006.
Was that?
Yeah,
and it was also a remake.
DVR.
It was also a remake.
It on my DVR this whole time.
Nelly was the soundtrack, right? It was like very heavy.
Yeah, dude. I
was bumping that on the way to football.
Of course. I mean, Nelly was a great character in that movie. I mean, he was the running back.
That's right.
I can't remember what his name was.
Burt Reynolds was in that one too, right?
He had a cameo. Meggett or something like that. But yeah. Burt Reynolds was high profile. Chris Rock.
Burt Reynolds was high profile in the
remake. He's like the old guy's like, well, you're gonna need someone to help coach, And then Jim, listen up. At the end of the movie, he comes in and makes a 2-point conversion to help them win. Did you hear that, Jim?
Hell,
he literally did just spoil the whole movie. I mean,
yeah. Well, it came out 2006, Jim.
So
should have watched it.
Boy.
No, Jim used to go crazy at the Ringer with spoilers. Like we'd be watching. It'd be
I
like a
so
TV show, and then they just literally would run through the entire plot of the episode. And Jim's like sitting there, and he's like, "I'm listening on mute. I hope that they sound fine."
Oh, you would like produce like.
Yeah, we both would the watch.
Like the watch. And
they wouldn't like give us the screeners, but they had the screeners. We haven't seen the show yet.
And the show's not out, dude. Before the Hateful Eight came out, I had to record a podcast about the Hate. I'm a big Tarantino fan, and I had to they had the screeners, and I had to sit there while they broke down the entire movie. It about broke me.
I thought
I was so broken. I was about to cry while I was sitting.
I thought you meant Jim would get mad because people would do like you just did, where you spoil a movie from 2006, or you're talking about Lost or something, and you spoil the.
No, we're talking about like things that aren't even publicly like attainable. You can't even get it unless you have some sort of way in, and then it was being spoiled for you.
Yeah, I had a Westworld ruined. I remember, and like me and my girlfriend at the time would watch it. It was like the one show we'd watch together, and then like they spoiled it, and I like just couldn't say anything and had to pretend to be like surprised at the end.
Oh my god, yeah, that would be.
And imagine Jim acting surprised.
I know. No, I told her immediately. I'm like, I had that spoiled for me 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, It was very
annoying.
What were we talking about?
funny. I don't know.
Kevin Durant. And why did I? Oh, because you were talking. Oh, I never finished my point about TBT. Yeah, I did. I said that. Yeah, that it's about the it's about
institution.
But what I was gonna say was it highlights too like this idea. You know, if like we were talking about last show about Adam Silver wants to change the rule maybe, and guys going to G League, guys going to overtime, guys might be able to go to the NBA straight out of high school again.
Mm-hmm.
Is college basketball in trouble if there's a talent drain on the sport? And the answer is no, because you could take third graders and throw them into college basketball uniforms.
And I would watch.
Mm-hmm. And I would want Ohio State to beat the shit out of every Big Ten team to play.
Same.
Yeah. Including North Carolina.
Yeah. And
including
those
Big Ten, North Carolina.
And those Duke third graders would be just little pricks. You know what I mean? Could not handle that.
Those Duke third graders would be little pricks. Oh my God! What else is going on in the NBA? This is supposed to be like NBA free agency time.
Yeah.
Speaking of Durant, I realized, is it like every year July 4th supposed to be like the bombshell? Is Rudy Gobert the one bombshell? Because even the Donovan Mitchell trade to the Knicks is like not actually happening, or is it happening? I don't know. When it does happen, I'm gonna be like, who cares at this point? We already had. This is the problem with Woj, and I might just turn every offseason show into me bitching about Woj, but like, we've already kind of consumed the surprise of the news of Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks.
Yeah.
That now when the trade actually goes through in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whenever the hell it happens, everyone's gonna be bored with it, and we're not gonna care.
Mm-hmm.
We don't, you know what I mean? You're ruining Christmas. You're spoiling Westworld for me, Woj. Like, I don't need you to tell me what's going to happen. Tell me, report when it does happen. After the team announces it, then you say, like, that's how it should work. The trade should be announced, and then Woj could then come out with all of his little nuggets. He's like, some interesting things about this trade. Here's how it got done. Here's, that is interesting. And I would tip my cap, and I'd be like, that's great information. Thank you for that, sir. But you saying Donovan Mitchell's going to the Knicks, and then it doesn't happen for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it does happen. I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of bored by this. This isn't fun. This isn't a bombshell.
It's not fun. It's like Woj is the kind of guy that sends you your tracking, shipment number that your mom just ordered your favorate toy. It's like, yes, it's been ordered. It's being processed. 6 weeks. Yes. It'll be here Christmas Day. You're like, okay.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. No,
I don't like it.
I still want the toy, I guess, but like also
not the same.
Yeah.
Feels a little bit worse than it would have. And also, we said on the last show, or I said on the last show, that it was going to be 6 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell. You see all the report that they asked for 6 first-round picks. The Knicks, and the Knicks said no. So congratulations, Jim.
Tate knew.
I know. 6
Tate
picks.
knew once again.
8 picks is what they originally said. Went down to 6.
You're giving up 6 picks for Donovan Mitchell?
No, they're not going to do it now.
Oh, it was 8. It's now 6. Is what you're saying.
And now they're not going to do. I don't think the Knicks are going to do it.
They're calling his bluff. They're going to just let him go to.
Oh, they're not
Miami.
doing it.
I don't think the Knicks are going to do it. I don't think so.
They're not doing it.
I don't think so.
So what the? I mean, this is like the.
It's like you said though. It's like
a game of chicken.
Yeah, just wait. Can we just wait a little while? Can we let it?
This is like your friend telling you he's gonna run a marathon, and then you're like, oh, congrats, buddy, and then you see him in like 4 months, and you're like, how'd the marathon go? He's like, I didn't do that. I just wanted to tell people and get them excited. I just wanted that attention. That's what the NBA is right now with Kevin Durant too, and Kyrie's going back to Brooklyn, right? Like that's.
Kevin Durant is not a free agent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the biggest confusion. Like you said, like free agency started around July 4th or whatever day it actually was, July 3rd. But at the end of the day, he has signed a 4-year contract. And he signed a 4-year contract after he won America a gold medal last year as the best player on the team. You remember that? Kevin Durant won a gold medal for America, for our country. And people still were like, yeah.
I would love the idea, now that I'm thinking about it. I've pitched the idea of Brad Stevens being the Team USA coach and nothing else. That's his full-time job. What about a team full of USA basketball players that's their full-time job as well? And Michael Beasley is the best.
Michael Beasley, Justin Jackson. Like you need like some college basketball guys that don't have really an NBA future per se, but like would buy into the Olympic lifestyle.
That's all they do.
Yeah,
they are just the Team USA. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
365 days a year, they're thinking about how they can win the Pan Am Games. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, Kenny Lofton Jr. I want him on there.
Get him on there.
Yeah.
It's a great call.
You know who else I want on there? EJ Liddell.
Too soon, dude.
Oh, I mean, I'm just saying. I want him. I want him on the team. I'm trying to build a super team.
Towards AC, you saw that, right?
Yeah, I did. But I mean, he's gonna play in the NBA for a while. But I'm saying after that, let's get him on the USA team.
This is Adam Silver's NBA, dude. Dwayne Washington was waived by the Pacers. EJ Liddell tore his ACL. And
Brady Manick has not signed a contract, and Jack White did. This is Adam Silver's NBA. It's not about basketball.
It's not about basketball. There's something else going on, and I feel like Brian Windhorst is the one guy who could tell us.
But he's scared.
But he's not talking. Now, why is that?
Why is he not talking?
Now, why is Brian Windhorst scared to call out Adam Silver's NBA?
The aggregators.
Interesting.
The aggregators.
Makes you think. No, but isn't there supposed to be like more juice to the NBA offseason right now? Like, what's going on?
Zach LaVine re-signed. DeAndre Ayton re-signed.
Yeah, I got excited about that. He signs with the Pacers, and then like, what kind of abusive relationship is this? That DeAndre Ayton's like, I want to leave this place. I hate it here. I went to college here.
Please.
You guys drafted me. I have to live here. Like, I cannot stress enough. I went to the University of Arizona because I was chasing the bag. I have no affiliation with this state. Wildbacks, I'm sorry. Plug your ears. I don't mean this, but that's what DeAndre Ayton was saying.
Yeah, that's what he was yelling.
He was yelling from the mountaintops. I would love to go to God's country, Central Indiana. That's where I want to spend the rest of my life. And he can't do that. But Kevin Durant has 4 years on his contract, and he can just call his shots.
Now this was
what the hell's going on?
The Hornets did this with Gordon Hayward when he was a restricted free agent. They offered him the max.
I remember that.
And then Utah had to match, even though they didn't want to. And then he came back, and then Utah eventually traded him to the Celtics. So you feel like the Suns will trade him, but now they have to wait a year. So it's going to be a really awkward start to the season when obviously something happened in that locker room. And what the rumor was is that his Knicks came to those Mavericks playoff games, right? Like Leon Rose and all those guys. And they were telling Ayton, we're going to give you a max contract. That was like this was scuttlebutt, but I don't think it's true. But really they were there recruiting Jalen Brunson. And they were going to give him a max contract for $100 million. So who knows who threw DeAndre Ayton off or whatever, or what really happened, but something obviously happened, and now he's got to go back for a year. So either they figure it out.
But why did the Pacers have to suffer? Why did the Pacers, for the first time in my life, the Pacers sacked up and were like, we're going for it. We're doing it.
Yeah, the Pacers.
Like, we don't know if DeAndre, I don't know where he is on tier lists and hierarchies
but he's a number one pick.
Whatever, but he was a number one pick.
Yeah.
He played in NBA Finals. Second year in the league? Third year in the league?
Third year
in the league. He's pretty freaking good, Tate. The idea that the Pacers were finally at one point in my life, like if you look at the history of the Pacers signing free agents, it's abysmal.
Yeah, it's not what they do.
Absolutely. Like David West might be the best free agent the Pacers have ever signed. Ever.
Uh-huh.
And no disrespect to David West, but like
David West was good.
David West was very good.
What about Chris Mullin?
David West might be the best.
I like Mully.
Dream team.
Yeah, but Mullen was like 48.
Yeah, he was past it. He was like Arvydas Sabonis level of like age at that point.
But it was awesome. Mullen was on the team, the 98 team that all shaved their heads. That was one of the great. That was the one time I was as a kid that I was closest to getting on the Pacers bandwagon when they all shaved. Do you remember that? Is that a thing that like resonated nationally?
Yeah, I mean
the Pacers in '98.
Yeah,
all decided. And Rick Smits went from having a mullet to.
I thought Chris Mullin was always bald, like because I was like 6 years old. So when I first saw him, he was bald. That was like the first series like run of the Bulls I really remember vividly was '98, and so I thought all those guys were bald. I kind of just thought everyone was kind of bald. Like Michael Jordan was bald, my favorite player. The entire Pacers team was bald.
No, I mean when people talk about the NBA was better in the '90s, and then other people say that's not true. That's just what you think because. That was the time you were growing up or whatever. It's definitively better when you have a team that just decides we're going to shave our heads for the playoffs.
Yeah.
That would never happen.
It's a team move.
It's a team move. That never happened.
There's not a lot of team moves that are happening in the NBA right now.
When the NBA does it, when
the teams are making moves, but it's not about the team.
When the Los Angeles Clippers, before a playoff run, all get the exact same neck tattoo, I'll be like, okay, now I see it. Now basketball is exactly like it was.
I feel like the Grizzlies could all get a tattoo.
I could see that. What team is most likely to do the
Grizzlies is the most likely team, and it to backfire after they do it. You know, they do it, and everyone's like, I mean, I guess that's cool.
Everyone
and then
gets
it goes horribly wrong.
Everyone gets the Ja Morant him tattoo on his neck. Just gets it on their neck. And then like half the roster's out of the league in 3 years. Anyway, that's all that's going on in the NBA, which is nothing. It's LeBron calling Boston fans racist, and that's about it. That's like,
yeah. I mean, even that feels like old and beaten at this point. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like Bill Russell told us that Boston was racist. You know what I mean? Like, we've heard all those stories for years and years and years. So I feel like the Boston fans almost like they're just like rolling their eyes at it at this point. So I don't even know what that was about.
Yeah. I mean, that's a instance of like, you're not wrong. I'm just trying to understand like what. Where is
this going from?
Yeah, you know.
And the crazy part is like all these clips, like even the Brittany Griner clip that was like about him being like, I wouldn't even want to come back to USA. It's like all these people keep being like, why are you taking stuff out of context? It's like these are highlights from HBO they put out. Like these are promo clips. Like I wouldn't even see it otherwise. You know what I mean? Like you're putting this in front of me.
Are you under the impression that I watched this entire show? Yeah. And then decided to defame LeBron James via out of context quotes? No, I was living my life.
And then this was promoted, tweeted it in my face. And then I was like, wait a tick. What's happening here?
I don't like that move in media. I don't like that we can put out a clip and then now I, as the consumer that didn't even want this clip, was fed this clip against my will. Now the onus is on me to watch
find content
in an hour of content that I don't want to watch.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's really the people cutting the promos that we are to blame, but also like if you said it, like it's kind of is what it is.
Yeah,
and like didn't it get greenlit? Like it's not like this promo got out without anyone seeing it, right? I would assume.
You would assume. I don't know.
I don't know.
Should we wrap the show up?
Yeah. Let's wrap the show up.
This was a great, just move the ball. This is a great innings eating show. I think.
Yeah.
I think this is a great, if I can pat us, I want to shout out us. I want to start with that.
Yeah.
This is a great, like, it's pro-am season in the basketball world, which for a lot of people, they're like, that's not much going on. But
we made enough. I mean, we really had 3 pegs today that we got to talk about. And, you know, we hit them all and more and then some.
Home run derby.
Tonight.
Home run derby tonight. Who you got?
Seager.
Alonzo.
I think Alonzo, too. Or Mark McGuire.
3 in a row?
Is Mark
you think
McGuire
he's going to win 3 in a row?
I only know Pete Alonso.
They should let an old dude come out and.
They kind of did.
Albert Pujols.
Miggy Cabrera is in it.
Pujols.
And Pujols
is in it.
Yeah.
He is the old dude.
Yeah. It's kind of G. I think I'm really excited about it. And Seager's coming back home. I think he's hit the longest home run, you know, because obviously he played with the Dodgers for so long.
Right.
I don't know. It'd be fun.
You're into the home run derby.
Yeah, I like the home run derby. Like historically, I like them.
Are you into? Baseball's not dead for you?
Never
That's
died.
great. That makes me happy. What about you, Jim?
Yeah, it's dead.
Okay. Perfect.
But I like the derby.
You like the Yankees? They're like on a historic tear.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Are you a Yankees or Mets fan? I forget.
Yankees. By the way, speaking of baseball, Donovan Mitchell threw out the first pitch and took batting practice at the Brooklyn Cyclones game yesterday.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like he's going to be a Brooklyn Net, right? That's what I keep
he's in
hearing.
New York, though.
Yeah.
Is there a world where you cheer for the Nets instead of the Knicks?
No. Never.
Even if you lived in Brooklyn.
Is there a world where you actually cheer for the Knicks? Again.
I don't cheer.
Who do you think, in all honesty, if we did a power ranking for NBA fandom,
oh man,
of the 3 of us, me with the Pacers, Jim with the Knicks, and you with the Hornets.
Cool.
You got to be number 1 with the Hornets, right?
I mean, but like the Hornets.
I mean, you could name starters for the Hornets.
I mean,
which is probably more than Jim and I could do.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things where it's like I loved Glenn Rice and the Hornets. You know what I mean? And Baron Davis and the Hornets. Like that was the last time I really was invested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that level,
I think for I'm going to speak for Jim, but I think for us, it's less about the actual franchise and it's more about the idea of our home being great.
Yeah.
You know? Like Jim's like the Knicks got to win because New York we're the best and we should win everything.
Yeah.
And I think that basketball is Indiana and the Pacers need to do a better job of representing the state. If you're going to wear Indiana on your chest, you got to play better basketball.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I come from.
But see, they don't have Carolina on their chest. They have Charlotte.
Great point.
And Charlotte is not like I'm from the Triangle, basically, north of the Triangle. So that is more of where I have my pride than I do Charlotte.
Great point. So if Jordan sold his share of the
if they were the Carolina Cougars, if Jordan sold and was like, I'm done with the Hornets, it would really hurt my fandom because I'm a Michael Jordan fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pulling for Michael Jordan's team.
And Eddie Q buys the Hornets.
Oh my God! I just threw up.
Yeah.
I just threw up.
And then the Hornets are a Duke franchise now.
Jesus, this is my nightmare. That would be my nightmare. I would be completely out. In fact, I would try to start the ABA, Carolina Cougars in Raleigh. that would be our only answer. Playing in the same arena as the Carolina Hurricanes. That's what we'd have to do. We'd have to combat this. We'd have to create another team. And the Durham Bulls are going to the major leagues. That would be our play.
You have the ABA just has you just have one team. It's the Carolina team, and you play a team led by Michael Beasley, and that's it. Every single game. You're just a traveling show. It's the Globetrotters Generals.
Do you think we could get Michael Beasley on our show?
I think we could. I think we should.
We should reach out to him. All right.
I think I have a new career goal, and it's to be a producer on the Michael Beasley documentary. That's just called Him.
Yeah.
The title of it's Him.
Yeah. It's an acronym, though. It's H.I.M.
What is the acronym?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
you're saying the title.
The title of the doc is an acronym.
Is the rap song an acronym?
I think so. I believe so. In fact, I think on the show when I explained to him, I said what the
acronym was.
I said what it was. Yeah, let me look it up again.
He is me.
He is me. I don't know.
Well, he looks
I think it's something majesty. I think it's something majesty.
Honor. Imperial.
I think it's His Imperial Majesty.
Is it really His Imperial?
I think it is.
I is Imperial?
Yeah, I think it is. That's exactly what it was.
Oh my God. What a
It's Kevin Gates. His Imperial Majesty, Kevin Gates. I'm him.
Yikes.
Or her Imperial Majesty.
I think Pete Alonso, back to the home run derby. I got Pete Alonso. I think Pete Alonso winning. He's got to go on what has he won 2 in a row?
I think he's won 2 in a row, yeah.
I think he's got to win. I think the way you save baseball is you let Pete Alonso. I use quotes, by the way, to say save baseball. I don't think baseball's dead, but you let Pete Alonso win 7 in a row, and you can't overdo it. But if he wins 7 in a row and gets people excited about the home run derby again, and then you get someone that steps in that starts talking mad, I'm going to take down Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
Then run to something. So I think Pete Alonso has to win.
I think the home run derby has a better future than the dunk contest by a mile.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And at one point I didn't know. I was kind of
the home run derby is knocking it out of the park.
Yeah. Jim,
you didn't like that one, Jim?
Jim didn't like that one.
No.
Oh my God.
I didn't get it.
I don't get it. What other shout-outs?
I wanted to shout out the Big Ten stat of the week, and it's courtesy of ACC school Wake Forest, because Wake Forest golfer, this is from Steve Forbes, head coach of your Wake Forest Demon Deacons. A Wake Forest golfer has finished in the top 2 of the last 3 majors, and at least one Demon Deacon golfer has finished in the top 10 of all 4 major championships this year. That is your Big Ten stat of the week right there. From Steve Forbes.
Who's the guy this time? Cameron Young?
Did Cameron Young go to Wake Forest? Jim, you should know this. He's from Westchester.
I think he
did. Yeah, he did go to Wake Forest. It was Cameron
Fordham
Young.
Prep for high school, too.
Yeah.
How do you feel about some synergy there, bringing up Cameron Young after the MLB, after talking about the All-Star and the home run derby? That he's got the big MLB logo on it.
It's nice. It's nice.
That's one of the funniest sponsorships.
Well, you know what it reminds me of? Ben Curtis. Do you remember Ben Curtis that won the British Open back in 2003? He had a Reebok sponsorship, so he would wear a different NFL team full outfit every round that he played in, and it was all brought to you by Reebok. So it'd be like Friday he was the Detroit Lions, Saturday he was the Kansas City Chiefs, Sunday he was whatever freaking team, or sometimes he was just straight Reebok guy, but other times he had full team gear on and he's playing. So it looked like you're watching, you're like, oh, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers guy.
Who is this?
Ben Curtis.
And then when he played poorly, everyone would blame the football team.
Well, and then there would be people that would be like, I hate this guy because I hate the Cowboys. And he's like, I'm not a Cowboys guy.
And then he wears the Eagles stuff the next day. Exactly, and they're like, I love this guy, actually.
Yeah.
I thought I hated
Giant
him.
stuff. They're like, this guy, did he just play the NFC East this weekend? That's what he would do. Great time. And that's what it reminds me of when I saw Cameron.
There's something about, I think the reason people went nuts when Rob Lowe wore the NFL hat too is that I think there's something just inherently funny about guys,
the institution,
the whole institute, the whole industry, the whole, it's I remember the first time I saw a commercial for beef. It's what's for dinner.
Yeah.
And I was like, so what's the company? And you're like, and my dad explained to me, it was the company is all the beef companies.
Yeah.
The entire industry.
It's like milk.
Yeah, milk. Got milk.
Yeah.
You're like, so which brand
That's
of
what
milk?
got
You're
me.
like,
I was like, what do you mean? Like, is it not Silt? Like, my grandpa worked for Siltest Milk. I was like, what do you mean? It's like, no, this is
all
milk at large.
Just in general. We're speaking to all the people that don't drink milk, and we want you to drink milk. Yeah.
And now there's so
it blows my mind. I'm like, you can do that? You could. We should pick a golfer where we just sponsor for podcasting. And it just says like podcasts are cool on their shirt.
Podcasts.
Podcasts aren't that bad. Podcast ?
Podcast. Do it.
Tried it before?
I'm in.
I want to did Duke come up on the show? I can't remember. Speaking of Duke, I don't know if we did or not.
Jack White.
That's right, Jack White. I saw that Duke is. I want to shout out John Shire, scheduling a home and home with Arizona Tate.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm impressed.
Starting November 2023, and in 2023, the Duke Blue Devils will host the Arizona Wildcats, and then they will return to McHale Center. Do you think? No, I'm not going to say that. That's an unfair accusation, but I will say this: Coach K, now Mr. K, famously never
Dodger,
huge Dodger, huge Dodger. In honor of the All-Star game at Dodger Stadium, we should do the top Dodgers of all time.
Top Dodgers of all time.
Jawan Howard, Coach K. Kelvin Sampson, that year he played Our Lady of the Lake instead of Gonzaga. Coach K famously would never play these games. Now John Shire in year one is signing up for Arizona, which would actually be in year two.
I was going to say, what are the odds that Duke actually plays at Arizona?
When I said I was gonna bring it up, and I was like, I don't want that's an unfair accusation. It's exactly what I noticed is that the first game is taking place at Cameron, and then the return trip is, and I think Duke might sort of see the writing on the wall that like by the time 2024 rolls around, they're gonna be in a new conference and it's gonna blow up everything.
They're gonna be in the NBA at that point. Adam Silver is taking them to the NBA.
But for the time being, John Shire has some stones, and we've known forever that he has been called Coach K or Mr. K, and now we know what the K stands for, and it's coward.
Ooh,
that he
can't spell coward without K.
You cannot. You simply cannot. And he was scared to play these games. John Shire is not. So, in the interest of fairness, and proving that my disdain for the Duke team last year was just because of the Coach K farewell tour, and I promised America and the Duke fans that when John Shire takes over, I'm not necessarily going to hate him. I'm going to give him a chance.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a chance.
Yeah.
And this is a good move.
I think it's a good move for John
hating.
Shire.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good move for the Blue Bloods. This is like, because Arizona to me is like, they're not necessarily a blue blood, but they are a blue blood, you know? Like to me, they're
great. Yeah.
They're a blue blood in my heart, but, you know, for some people they're not. But Arizona gets they're kind of like Duke. You know, they're not actually a blue blood. But you know they kind of.
I need to see the rest of that list. We'll go over the.
We'll
rest
go
of
over
the
that.
list
Yeah,
point, but the
new bloods, blue bloods, and true bloods. We'll do that.
Then, like the kind of blue bloods, but like I don't know. But not really.
Yeah, Villanova. I'm worried.
What else? What else is there?
I just wanted to flag this for basketball fans and obviously friends of the program, but I'm worried about Charles Barkley. I'm just putting this out there because Charles Barkley went on Pat McAfee's show. We like Pat McAfee on this program, and he said on that show, quote, "If somebody gave me $200 million, I'd kill a relative." And this was in regards to the Live Tour.
Whoa.
You know, and then I saw today that he is meeting with the Live Tour, Charles Barkley. So there is a chance that we could lose Charles Barkley.
Now, did you just see a clip or did you watch the whole 3-hour
Did you get the context?
So
I just wanted to flag that because Charles Barkley is like a patron saint and beloved on this program. And he is one of the few people that can just quote unquote tell it like it is, even though it's sometimes, you know, unbelievable that he actually said what he said. But this is worrisome because if he goes to the Live Tour, we're going to lose him. He can't be on TNT anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to flag that. It is like in my universe, we're on red alert right now.
The Live Tour is the most fascinating thing.
It's destroying. It's slowly cratering like everything. It brings every conversation to the table, and it brings like the worst, you know, inhibitions because of the money involved, right? It's the worst of us. It's the worst of humanity coming to the table.
It is the sun. The sun is coming to engulf the earth. And like some people are like, holy, this is the end.
Yeah.
And others are pointing, and they're like, dude, look how big the sun is.
Look how bright it is. And you're like, are you obsessed with the sun? And that's what's happening.
Like, no, I'm pretty sure it's coming to kill us all. And you're like, no, dude, it's coming to like make beach days even sicker. Dude.
Yeah, dude. You don't like the sun, bro?
Like the sun.
Go inside. That's what's happening. And I'm worried. So that's my shout out is, Charles, if you're listening, don't do it.
And then like
there has to be $200 million somewhere else. TNT. Get this man $100 million.
And then
get him $100 million.
The other funny thing about the Live Tour is all the literally every single human being that covers golf is like, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen to sports. And, and certainly golf. And this is absolutely terrible. This is awful. Oh my God, this isn't my words. This is what I seem to gather from all the golf journalists.
This is all the reports.
And then you see like just random ass dudes that have like backwards hats in their profile pictures, and they're just like, bro, are you mad? Why are all these golf journalists so mad?
Yeah, why are you mad?
Why are you mad, bro? Why? Because like,
are you jealous?
Are you jealous? Like that's the that sums up their entire argument. Is like, sounds like someone's jealous.
Yeah. Oh, you salty? Yeah, it's a lot of that. And David Faraday, Fairway Faraday, who was always on the course, he just left for Live.
Yeah, that's
right.
So
he calls the British Open. And then Cam Smith, who just won the British Open, now there's all these rumors and rumblings he might go to the Live Tour.
Adapt or die, bitch.
Oh, man.
Don't be salty.
Don't let Charles Barkley go. That's all I ask.
He's
not even a golf guy.
So I understand, like, go chase the bag. Of
course, we're bad guys.
We are bad guys.
We get it. We get it.
We're never
gonna be salty.
I'll never be the guy that's like, I don't understand why a guy would chase the bag. I will always understand that. My concern is, are the guys like really like, do you want to be in business with these? Like if there's a world where I go play golf for 3 years and bank like $250 million doing it, and then I wipe my hands of it and I'm like, cool, we're done, I can move on, I might sign up for the Live Tour, Tate.
Yeah.
But my concern would be, I'm signing up. I'm like, yeah, 3 years. Those 3 years end. I'm like, we're done here. Thank you for the $250 million. And then they go, we are not done here. You come right back here.
Yeah, it has very much a Moron Mountain vibe.
Yeah,
where you're like, do you actually own me?
And I'm,
like Phil Mickelson's gonna look up when he's 61 years old, and he's like, I still have to pay off $200 million of debts.
Yes.
And so I had to play for the next 30 years, and you're like, okay, this doesn't seem tight.
It is, the Live Tour is more on mountain. The Live Tour is more on mountain. Makes a lot of sense. I have a couple shout outs I'll go through quickly. Shout out to Cucho Hernandez, who is the Columbus Crew's new signing. The record fee, $10 million.
Sick.
He has played 3 games for the Crew. He scored 4 goals, Tate. We just beat Cincinnati last night. I'm wearing my Crew jersey, so he's got me back in on the Crew. I famously saved the Crew by saying save the Crew at the end of every podcast we used to do.
2018.
And that was ultimately what made the difference.
Yeah.
But this guy's electric. He's amazing, and him and Johnny Hockey both being in the city of Columbus has stirred something inside me and made me believe in Central Ohio sports again. And now my mind is going forward to the college football season, and I'm talking myself into somehow Cucho Hernandez, Johnny Hockey, CJ Stroud. It's all synergy coming together, and the Buckeyes are winning the national title. So that's my roundabout way of saying Cucho Hernandez scoring against Cincinnati yesterday
confirmed that the Buckeyes are winning the title.
I've talked myself into Ohio State football is winning the national title. So when they don't, I'm going to be heartbroken. So there you go.
I'm right there with you. I can see it. I see a path.
I also lastly wanted to shout out Nathan Fielder because his new show is insane.
The rehearsal.
Did you watch it, Jim?
No, I haven't. But I did see him the other day.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't, dude.
Okay.
It was an old picture. You've sent us that one before. Jim's the king of taking grainy pictures.
Yeah, and then it could be anybody. He's like, dude, that's Ben Affleck and J-Lo. I promise you.
You know when people say, like, how come every picture of Bigfoot is fuzzy? I would say it's probably because Jim Cunningham's taking the picture.
Yes. Or someone in his family.
Yeah.
They pass it down.
Yeah. That's why. But no, the rehearsal, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Would you agree? It was just like that. I
texted
my brother.
It's Nathan for you on steroid. I
texted my brother. I said, "This is the best pilot episode of any show I've ever seen."
It was a classic.
Instant classic.
I could not believe that it was the first episode. I felt like I'd already watched. Like I was like, how do I understand what's happening here? Because it's really just the same guy doing an even more elaborate bit, which is exactly what we wanted.
It's
and
incredible.
The guy being a TV expert and not knowing Nathan For You, the TV show, was like one of the greatest like hat on a hat humor moments of all time. Like he obviously picked this guy because he was a TV expert, so that he would probably give us some information on Nathan for You.
And I thought the end, that big twist at the end when
Jimmy, you listening?
I thought the big twist there at the
when Shyamalan came out, that was crazy, dude.
All right, I think that's it. That's the shit. Anything else, Jim? You have anyone else to shout out?
Just the Live Tour. Love what they're doing. Call me, Liv. Call me.
Trevor Keels. Are you concerned about the?
What's your panic meter level?
I told you. I think we won Summer League because the team that wins Summer League has never won the championship that year.
Oh.
So there you go.
Oh.
Great point.
Great job, Blazers. You played yourself. Congratulations.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Shout out to Michael Beasley. Shout out to that son of a bitch, Scott Skiles. A lot of Scott Skiles talk on the program.
More than I expected. I apologize. I
was prepared for 5 minutes of it. Did not see it going 15 minutes. Scott Skiles talk. That's it. We'll be back on. We're doing dirty laundry again. Send us your.
Got a lot of emails.
We got a ton of emails coming in, but keep them coming. We're going to do that Thursday, Friday.
We're going to do that
this week.
Yeah, Thursday.
The other show. Yeah, we'll read through some of them.
We get a lot.
That's great. We should start peppering them into every show.
Yeah. Jim.
All
No.
right. See you guys then.